Hello, I am back from an amazing feminine retreat in the middle of a national forest, and I'm all about the trees. Let's talk about it. It's time for us to start getting back outside. Here in New Orleans, the weather is shifting into maybe the week or two that we have of fall when it's not 100% degree humidity and all the heat that's making us sweat and be miserable the minute we walk outside. It's actually pleasant outside. You're still able to kind of wear some cooler clothes, but you're starting to maybe think about layering a little bit here or there. And when that happens, this is when people start talking to me about, hey, well, maybe I can start considering going outside again, doc. I always encourage people I work with to spend some time outside. Did you know just 20 minutes with indirect sunlight will decrease that cortisol, that stress hormone that keeps us in that fight or flight mode, that go, go, go mode, that stress mode? That lowers with just 20 minutes of that indirect sunlight. So let's take advantage of this weather change and start switching the script on our anxiety, our depression, our stress. So I was blessed to go on a sacred feminine retreat for a couple of days in New Mexico, in Pecos, New Mexico, that area. Dr. Low Dog is an amazing integrative women's health physician who she's just a goddess. And so this was a couple of days that I spent with amazing women. I'm actually in the middle of writing a story about it, so you guys will hear more in the coming weeks. But when we were there, we were really in the middle of the forest. We spent time doing ritual there and just walking and being. And it really reminded me of how much that time with the trees is valuable to us just as humans, and how the strength of a tree can really remind us of our own inner strength and how we're able to use our roots and our connection to the earth and connection to our ancestors and family lines and support network and our trunk of strength that we build with time. Maybe our trunk expands also with time, but the strength expands with time. And then reaching out with our branches and leaves, allowing them to flow with the wind, so that even though we're steady and held to the ground from those roots that we have from our ancestors, from our support network, from all that we've learned, our trunk and all the support and all the things we know, our knowledge base, our experience, we still have the ability to move when we need to and to be a little more flexible with time. I just love that imagery of the tree. I had a dear friend today suggest also that the branches of the tree then offer shade to those around us. So our learning, our experience is able to do that, to branch out literally to other people and to help them with what we've learned and what we have as knowledge and how we be. So I encourage you to spend a little time, go outside, go to that tree in your yard that maybe you haven't taken a second look at lately. Go to somewhere in your neighborhood if you have a park nearby. If you're blessed to live near a forest or live somewhere where you're able to find that type of space. But honestly, I have friends who live in cities who point out that the cities were built on forests. So even the trees around you here in New Orleans proper, or in Houston or Atlanta, or wherever you may be, New York, those trees are also connected in their root system to the forest, and so can connect you to the earth in a way that maybe you haven't considered before. So take that moment, go outside today and find your nearest tree, maybe put your hand on it and feel the strength of that tree and how it will, in all likelihood, be willing to lend some of that to you, some of that energy to you, and allow yourself to observe the root system, how it goes into the earth and spreads and connects with other trees in ways that we can't even see. I have this amazing tree in front of my house that we see the root system going through my little uptown yard. And sometimes my husband gets a little annoyed with that because it makes navigating the yard a little more difficult. But I just find that that fascinating? How this tree can reach so far and connect with other trees to communicate in ways that we're still learning about and still figuring out. And that's like us as humans. We do that. We connect with other people and we stay connected. And maybe we don't see each other every day. Maybe we don't talk every day, but we still feel that connection. Maybe that loved one who's passed away, who we love and adore and miss so much, maybe we're not able to see them in day-to-day life, but we still feel their presence. We still maybe see signs of them or reminders of their spirit. And that's that root connection that's reaching through the earth, reaching through spirit lines and ancestral lines and keeping us connected. And then maybe notice the tree. If you are one like me and love to give a good hug, you could hug the tree trunk and feel the strength. Feel how wide it's become with year after year. Do you remember when you were a kid looking at, we all learned this in science, right? Like they showed you the tree trunk and how it has the rings, and each year and year and year, there's more and more rings. It's bigger and stronger. And it might have some like something that was that like a woodpecker hit it too hard, or a fire happened, or someone used it, a part of it, to build something. It might have those indentations, those scars, those tissues, but it's still built around them. And that's the strength that we have too. We can build around our own scars and losses and difficulties and still build in a way that still allows for strength. I can still miss my dad every day and know that I hold a hole in my heart, but with time, allow strength to be growing around that in a way that changes my relationship with him for the better. And I invite you to consider that when you're looking at your tree. Consider the deviations you've had, the navigations you've had to go through, maybe the scars that you've had along the way, and how your trunk is still building and still allowing you to become stronger and stronger day in and day out. And then looking up to the branches, seeing the sunshine come through, or if you're not a sun guy or gal, maybe the moon shining through, and allowing yourself to see how even with its strength, the tree still can be flexible. It can still reach out to others. It can still offer shade or support or branches for that little boy or girl to climb up and to get closer to the sky. You can do that too. You can still offer support. You just have to be a couple of inches ahead to help the person, the guy or gal behind you, and to give them a hand up, to give them that branch to climb, to give them that shade. If they need a little protection, if they need a little serenity, you can still be that person. You can still be that tree. And then as the wind is blowing, allowing yourself to sing and move with the wind, just as the leaves do, allowing your voice to be lifted in song, lifted in celebration, lifted in cheering for yourself, for your fellow trees, your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow beings on this earth. So with that, I invite you to go hug a tree, go spend some time outdoors, just 20 minutes. You know, my bio self is going to tell you just that 20 minutes is going to help with your stress reduction. But that time with the tree, we've seen with forest bathing, helps improve mood, helps improve anxiety, help improves well-being, also helps cardiac health. How can it not? Connecting with nature like that, how can that not help your heart health, right? And it biologically does, spiritually and physically. So do that, connect. Know that even if it's the tree in your yard, it doesn't have to be a full forest if that's not accessible to you. Just that one tree will connect you enough to nature and to what the forest has to offer to maybe help you switch your script a little bit if you're going through a hard time. I'm sending you lots of love. If you need some support in this or want to coordinate maybe an urban forest adventure, which I'm all for, reach out to me. You can find me on my website, darawellnessnola.com. There's discovery calls there. I'm adding a new consultation service for folks who are anywhere in the world who maybe want to interact with me and have a full evaluation with treatment plan and all the advisement that you could need for your next steps. So consider that in your plan of care. And just go enjoy outside. All right. Love you guys.